Good evening, everyone. My name is Tim Wortham Jr. I am a proud Eastern alumnus and the new Senior Director of Alumni and Family Philanthropic Engagement here at Eastern. I'm joined on the team by my colleagues Rebecca Sharuk, Sydney Tilley, and Beth Lochner, and we are all honored to serve you, the Eastern community. I'd like to welcome you all to Eastern's Homecoming 2020, our first ever virtual homecoming weekend. So thank you so much for being a part of history on tonight. Please note this event will be recorded, is being recorded actually as we speak, and will be uploaded to our YouTube channel for future viewing. And to get started tonight, I have the honor of introducing our university chaplain, your friend and mine, the man, the myth, the legend, Dr. Joe Modica.
Thank you very much, Tim. Would you join me in prayer this evening? Oh Lord, as we gather here this evening, we are grateful for the many gifts you have bestowed upon us: life, family, vocation, our alumni, and hope. And yes, thankful for hope during a pandemic. We continue to look to you as our source of hope and strength. Thank you for this evening's celebration as we begin the festivities of this year's homecoming. We thank you for Rebecca, for Tim Wortham, for Tim April, our alumni relations team, and our alumni office for their leadership, creativity, and all their good efforts. And to President Matthews for his steady leadership of our university during these very unsteady times. We are grateful to our honored alumni recipients, James and Christina. They represent so well what the university hopes for all her graduates, that they live lives of integrity, rooted in faith, reason, and justice, while loving God and serving their neighbor. We are also grateful for the honor bestowed upon Teresa Noy this evening, one of the DNA people of Eastern University, for her unwavering commitment to worship as a way of life and her deep commitment to students, modeling for them in her interactions the life of Jesus of Nazareth, our risen Savior. So here we are, Lord. We ask for a blessing this evening, not for selfish reasons, but for reasons of resilient hope. Hope for today, tomorrow, for all the days yet to come. We ask all these things in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you so much, Dr. Modica. At this time, we are going to be blessed with a performance and some opening remarks from our esteemed president, Dr. Ronald Matthews.
Oh, my turn? I'm so sorry. I love popcorn, and it's so great to be here with you all. I want to thank Alumni Relations for the E-United reception kit. I hope you all got that, and to help us relax and enjoy the company. Honestly, after hearing that song, I don't think I've ever sounded better. So I want to thank you for making a quick cut on that one. And I'm honored to be here tonight. It's great to be E-United. And I hope that you will enjoy your evening. Thank you to everyone who's attending this kickoff homecoming celebration and alumni award ceremony. I am honored to be a part of this event and to serve as the 10th president of Eastern University. I want to thank our alumni relations team, our alumni advisory board, our advancement office, our tech team, and especially our awards recipients. The fact that we are meeting online, virtually, attests to our love for each other and for Eastern. I find that when people talk about the distinctives of Eastern, at the top of the list is the word community. It doesn't mean we're perfect, but it does mean that we are committed to loving well and becoming our best. We believe in being together and that we are better together. I hope you enjoy the program this evening. and that you will continue to participate in the rest of the E-United homecoming activities this week. Again, thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, President Matthews. And at this time, I'm going to turn the remainder of the program over into the hands of our Master of Ceremonies, distinguished member of the class of 2000 and the chair of our Alumni Advisory Board, Mr. Tim April.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you, Tim. I echo Tim Wortham's welcome to Homecoming 2020, and also President Matthews saying again just how glad we are that you're able to join us. And while the format is different, just like a lot of other things have been this year, we are certainly excited to have you here, to have you join us, and to introduce this year's Alumni Award recipients. First, please allow me to recognize the members of the Alumni Advisory Board, which represents volunteer alumni that meet about 5 times a year, help plan homecoming, and are available at other campus events throughout the year. We're also responsible for seeking nominations for the Alumni Awards given out annually. I'd like to thank this group for their time, energy, and commitment to the Eastern University family. Our Leadership Council members are Sherry Bwint and Mel Bwint, Don McNeil, and Jean McFeeters. And we're always looking for alumni to join our team. If you're interested, please reach out to the Alumni office at a very easy email address to remember, alumni@eastern.edu. We will host a virtual open advisory board meeting during homecoming this year and invite our fellow alumni to learn more about each of us and the many volunteer opportunities available to support the Eastern community. So join us tomorrow evening at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You can register on our homecoming website, another easy thing to remember, eastern.edu/homecoming if you haven't already. And now it's time to present this year's awards, starting with the Alumnus of the Year, which is nominated by their fellow alumni and selected based on a variety of criteria, including achievements in career, contributions to community, and a continued and deep interest in and relationship with Eastern University. This year's Alumnus of the Year is James Mast. James has worked in his chosen field of psychology since graduating from Eastern. He is currently a licensed professional counselor at a mental health organization, Penn Foundation, and his clinical work is focused on helping individuals, couples, and families understand and cope with a wide variety of issues. James is very active in his community and is a regular speaker for a number of local schools on issues pertaining to mental health, as well as topics such as the impact of social media and peacemaking. James's work intersects with his faith in a number of ways. He has been a resource within his faith community by providing workshops and seminars for local churches and faith organizations. In the last year, he presented a seminar in Kansas City on understanding sex, gender, and sexuality to a packed room of adults and teens at MenoCon 19. He has worked with local pastoral teams and other Christian leadership to strengthen their ability to understand and respond to issues of mental health. James has been active in the Eastern University community since graduating. He regularly returns to campus and speaks to students, both undergraduates and graduates, about their future careers and using their degrees in their chosen fields. James was a singer while at Eastern as a member of Turning Point. He has kept up his singing and is a founding member of a 5-man a cappella group called 40 Foot Road. Part of the mission of the group is to give free concerts to raise money for local nonprofit organizations. Last year, the group put on a benefit concert for Penn Foundation that raised $6,000 for the organization that will help people get mental health care in the community. James, it is our honor to present you with this Alumnus of the Year award.
Thank you. Let me say first that I'm filled with gratitude to be honored by the Eastern community in this way. When I was a child and at church, one of the things I would do was quietly slide myself off the pew where my family was sitting and crawl stealthily underneath the benches, usually slowly making my way from the front of the sanctuary to the back. Maybe some of you have done this in your history. This was usually more achievable if the sermon was good and captured the attention of my parents, of course. I enjoyed the strangeness of the world underneath those pews, not a world inhabited by people, but rather by many pairs of disembodied legs. I would think that it's nice that each leg has a twin to keep them company. Laying on my back, I would sometimes think about what would it be like if gravity were reversed and all of our feet were stuck to the ceiling instead of the floor. And there were always so many things to consider about the upside down world, mainly the issue of leaving church without falling into the sky. And sometimes now that I'm mostly an adult man, if I really try, I can imagine a world different than the one that I see. My 2-year-old daughter, Nadia, helps me remember how to see life like that when she greets the flowers on the way to the car. I think children are so naturally gifted in their ability to shift their perspective in life. They are so ready to see something in a new way. They ask the hard questions with a genuine curiosity, wanting to know why, how, and when, and then start back at why once again. To quote a kid's book that we enjoy in our household. Children are often able to forgive so quickly the people who wrong them, which I think allows them to love more fully. They are made more ready to see the world upside down, I think. But before I had Nadia, I had Terry Weathersby, Londi Turner, Joe Saba, Ron Matthews, Randolph Walters, Ruth Palmer, Michael McPhee, and the list could go on and on. The people who taught me what it meant to see the world in a different way. They taught me how to better love my neighbor. They also taught me to stop asking the question, what's wrong with you? And start asking the question, what happened to you? They taught me that a society is much like an individual. And that if I wanted to make real change, it often meant changing the larger processes that contribute to problems. And they taught me the power of sitting quietly and listening to the stories of others. And I thank each of you that taught me and continue to for each of those lessons. I want to thank everyone who has been part of the Eastern University community, a place that helped me understand what it means to live and work in an upside down kingdom. A place that taught me that our heart for faith and our mind for reason are meant to enhance each other, not diminish. And that when faith and reason are allowed to strengthen each other, we are made more perfect instruments for justice. Thank you.
Thank you, James, for your thoughtful remarks and for sharing your own story of your adventures under the pews. I can relate as I'm reminded of my own childhood experience in church when sometimes misbehaving and seeing my dad from the choir loft give the look. So thank you. Next, we have our distinguished Young Alumna of the Year, Christina Gann Gomez. This award recognizes alumni who have graduated from Eastern University within the past 10 years for significant contribution to church, vocation, and community. The distinguished young alumni embody Christian values in their work and personal life, and the award recognizes those who are outstanding leaders in their vocation and community, and shows promise of future professional growth. After graduating, Christina accepted one of the first teaching positions at the New Philadelphia Project Preschool, a nonprofit ministry providing affordable Christian education in the Roxborough community through a quality preschool, supportive after-school programs, and fun interactive summer camp opportunities. Christina has been able to merge her passions for mission work and education in her own backyard of Roxborough and continues to grow in faith and leadership at the Philadelphia Project Preschool, now rebranded as Roxy Education. Today, Christina serves as the Director of Educational Programs at Roxy Education and oversees all education programs at the school and Roxborough Church. When nominated, Christina was described as a living, breathing servant leader in action. She's an incredibly strong Christian woman who values hard work, faithful devotion to the Lord, and unswerving commitment to her students. It's amazing and inspiring to think about all that Christina has done in her few years after Eastern. With that being said, it is our honor to present the Distinguished Young Alumna Award to Christina Gann Gomez.
Thank you so much, Tim. Hi, everyone. My name is Christina Gomez, and I'm honored to be here today among some other incredible individuals, particularly Miss Teresa Noy, who served as a mentor to me during my time as an RA in Keeguffin. She was one part of the great impact that Eastern had on my life. I just wanted to take this time to share just a part of my story for how I believe Eastern was the launching pad for a path that God had uniquely planned for me before I even knew it. So I graduated Eastern in 2014 with a degree in early childhood education. So at first my heart was set on getting my degree in youth ministry and missions. God directed me towards what would end up being a better path for me, which was studying education. And though I felt slightly saddened that I wouldn't be following the ministry path that I thought I should, I later realized that studying education would equip me for exactly what God had ahead of me. One night during my senior year at Eastern, I shared my story at Wednesday night worship and explained how I did not know what I was going to do after graduating and how I felt a little bit lost, but I knew that God would lead me. I was working at a daycare at the time, and a friend reached out to me and told me about a nonprofit, the Philadelphia Project, that was hoping to open up an affordable Christian preschool in Philadelphia. Without knowing much, I reached out to see if I could be a part of opening this school. Eventually, I was hired to be the first teacher, and we began the long road of working to open this affordable, quality Christian preschool in Philadelphia. Though there are times where it was incredibly difficult starting from the ground up, and times where I honestly did not feel like the right person for the job, I soon realized this was exactly the perfect place for me because it allowed me to use my degree in early childhood education for ministry purpose. And even through the challenges that any startup has, I felt so lucky to be able to have what I believe to be my dream job right out of college. Little did I know things were just getting started. I loved every experience of teaching my students and building relationships with families and developing as a leader. And I continued working there for the past 6 years, eventually moving into a role as Director of Education for the preschool and after school program there. I'm incredibly thankful for those who invested in me while I was at Eastern, and then also after Eastern, many Eastern alum who have stayed in my life and have invested in me and encouraged me along the way as I grew into this leadership role. As director, I was able to further deepen relationships with families in our neighborhood, students, as well as staff at our programs. And during that time, I met my husband, who serves as the children's pastor, and together we were able to minister to families in the neighborhood in a very unique way. Whether it was Friday night youth group or the preschool costume parade, we were there, supporting kids in their everyday lives and building relationships with families in the neighborhood. I believe Eastern equipped me with not only the degree that I needed in early childhood education, but more importantly, taught me what it means to live out my faith in real and tangible ways. This school year, I followed my passion for teaching and returned to the classroom, even though it is cyber, at Esperanza. And I'm honored to be a part of a legacy of organizations serving the city of Philadelphia that have strong ties to Eastern University. First, the Philadelphia Project, and now Esperanza. And looking back, I can see God's specific preparation for me in each stage as I followed his will for my life. So I just want to close by encouraging current students at Eastern with 2 quick things. One, just to allow God to guide you in all that you choose to do with your life. What he has in store for you will be greater than what you could ever do apart from him. And second, to not fear things that seem difficult or even impossible, because often that's where God can do his best work. So thank you very much for having me here tonight.
Well said. Thank you, Christina. And thank you for that encouragement and for sharing yourself in your dream job. Too few people get to say that they work in their dream job, so I'm glad you're one of them. And now we have our Lamplight Society inductee, Teresa Noy. the Lamplight Society was established in 2002 to commemorate Eastern University's 50th anniversary. The Society serves to honor those who shine the light by making significant contributions to the life of Eastern University and have left an indelible print on the campus community. The award honors alumni, faculty, staff, and administration, and the contributions they made while at Eastern. As the current resident director of Key Guffin Hall, advisor of the chapel worship team, and director of the Office of Multicultural Students Initiatives and the Good Scholars Program, Teresa is heavily involved in student life. She is an example and guide to countless students, as Christina mentioned in her speech just moments ago, and has been an integral part of a variety of initiatives at Eastern, including Equip, Conquer the Night, the Meet Your Majors Fair, and the Good Scholars Success Seminar. Last July marked her 25th year at Eastern, where she tirelessly works to ensure that students are as prepared as possible for life after college, spiritually, academically, and developmentally. Teresa always goes the extra step for her students and handles challenges with grace, wisdom, and faith. When nominated, Teresa was described as an amazing and talented woman who seeks to do everything God wants her to do. She has recently added published author to her list of accomplishments and titles with the recent release of her book, Hello Autism: How to Love, Like, and Learn from Your Special Needs Child. It is our honor to induct Teresa Noy into the Lamplight Society.
Hello, hello, hello. Well, thank you so much, Tim, for that introduction. I would like to say that I am not currently the resident director at Eastern at Key Guffin. We moved off campus in July, so I'm not living there anymore. But I'm so thankful and so grateful for the opportunity that I've had to invest in a generation of students. We came to Eastern when I was 25 years old, and I initially was interested in the position because my husband had just started law school, and I was going to be a teacher in Philadelphia, and you know, we just needed a place to live. And when my friend Cheryl Ott, who was a student at the time, we were talking about housing and what we were going to do, and she said, you know, there's a resident director position that's going to be at Eastern, and you would be perfect. You should apply. And as I began to look at the job description, I said, oh my gosh, this is me. It just fits perfectly with all of my giftings and my abilities. And so I applied and I was hired, and I was the first African-American resident director at the university. And we said that we would do it for 5 years, and 5 years turned into 10, turned into 15, 20. And I found that I just couldn't leave. I was just so grateful for the opportunity to be able to invest in the lives of so many young people. And not only that, we had the opportunity to raise awareness. Many of the students that I connected with had never had an up close and personal relationship with a Black woman, let alone a whole Black family. So we began to open up our home, and we had, I would pick a certain student to just invite to dinner, and they had dinners with us, and students became a part of our lives. Eastern became our family. And it was just It was a wonderful time. So I'm just very grateful for that investment and to be able to walk alongside of so many students like Christina, and to just invest in their lives. I also am grateful for the opportunity, because it was at Eastern that our son was born, and we learned that he was diagnosed with autism at age 3. And we decided to run a home program with him. And we did this 40 to 50 hours a week for 6 years. And Eastern became my team of angels. I mean, the students became a part of our home program. They volunteered in the program. We did a fundraising initiative. We did a walk every year. Many of you were a part of that walk every year, helping to raise funds and awareness. And my son was able to thrive and to grow as a result of being a part of the Eastern community and the so many angels that we invited to be a part of the miracle participated. And we had this family. Strangers became family, and it was so powerful and so transformative. So again, I am the one who received. I am the one who, our family was just so blessed to be able to experience that, and it's because of the Eastern community. I'm grateful for my colleagues that I get to serve with in student development who are so committed, so committed to the formation of students. It's an honor to work with so many stellar people. And I'm just so blessed. I just feel very blessed to be a part of the Eastern family. So now we are living off campus, but I'm still invested in the work that we do with the Good Scholars and with the multicultural student initiatives. Although I'm not the chapel worship team advisor anymore, I'm just so grateful for the opportunity to be able to shape the spiritual culture through initiatives as Conquer the Night, which is still going, and being able to create a class for the chapel worship team and to develop a scholarship. And you know, I just feel so proud that, you know, I did that with the help of the Lord, but that my light, you know, just connecting with students just because is what I love to do, and because I'm so deeply committed to their transformation and becoming the men and the women that God created them to be. So I'm just having fun. And it's a blessing to be able to see the fruit of that. So I want to thank you, alumni, for this wonderful award. I want to thank you, Linda Duryea, for nominating me, and thank you, students, for just for accepting me and my family and loving on us, and for us all partnering together, learning how to love well. Like Jesus said, the greatest commandment is that we love God with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength, to love our neighbors the way that we love ourselves. So thank you for the opportunity to love. Thank you again.
Wonderful, and thank you, Teresa, for expressing your gratitude, for sharing your story, and for correcting us on the RD and location. There was some question about that, so sorry about that wasn't corrected sooner, but thank you. And so now I think we are ready to take some questions from the audience. So one of the things that's actually nice about this format, so typically we have this on a Saturday morning during breakfast, and with all that's going on, we don't always have time for a Q&A session. So Now we do. So we can take some questions from the audience for our awardees. So you can actually submit your questions in the little Q&A area at the bottom of your Zoom screen, and indicate to whom you wish to address your question, which awardee. And we'll have Rebecca Sharuk and or Tim Wortham. We'll kind of share those questions and read those, and we'll go from there.
So we do have one question so far, and it is for Teresa. Teresa, we have someone who would love to know where folks can find your book, find and purchase your book.
Oh, sure, absolutely. You can find the book at teresanoy.com. If you order it from me, I'll autograph it. But it's available on all major platforms: Barnes & Noble, Walmart, Amazon, Books A Million, everywhere. So, yes, thank you.
Excellent. And to James, question for you is, can you talk a bit about some of the challenges that you faced in introducing the topic of mental health in Christian spaces?
Sure. Yeah. You know, some of the biggest challenges have to do with stigma. And, you know, oftentimes when I'm doing a discussion on suicide, you know, one of the first things I'll ask is, well, what's the first name in the Bible you think of when it comes to suicide? And most people say, well, Judas. And it's not exactly a character anyone wants to be associated with. And depending on the denomination, the culture of the place that I'm walking into, there can be different ways that Christianity, faith clashes with things like mental health. And that's not the only topic that can be a little charged sometimes. So I think it's really important, you know, it has been important for me to sort of figure out, you know, where am I meeting people when it comes to a topic, and you know, sort of talk to them in a way that is sort of respectful and in line with where they're at. Because, you know, if I leave and I thought I sounded pretty good, but they think I don't understand them. I don't understand them as people or their culture. They're gonna really not leave with much. So, yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Sure.
And Christina, question for you is, can you speak about why you feel it is so important to incorporate Christianity into early childhood education, and why that was such a passion of yours?
Yeah, of course. So in starting at the preschool, we incorporated Bible time with our students. So that was really important for the students to learn that, but it definitely went beyond that. I think during the day, it was something that I would often come back to as I was teaching the kids how to interact with one another, how to love one another. And so it was just an opportunity to teach them, even in the way we do everyday life, how to live like Jesus did. And even beyond that, I think there was so many opportunities to build relationships with families by doing life with them, by seeing the kids at their sporting events or dance recitals and things like that, and just getting to build those relationships with families and be able to encourage them in their faith as well.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
So those are all the questions we actually have tonight. So I'm going to turn it back into the hands of Tim April, and I just want to say thank you again. Thank you to everyone who joined us tonight and participated in this event. And thank you and congratulations again to all of our honorees.
Yes, thank you again to all our award recipients, and thank you all so much for attending this evening's event. I hope we were all inspired by the passion faith and commitment of our alumni and staff and the impact they continue to make in their communities and our very own community here at Eastern. As a reminder, a recording of this evening's event and all homecoming events will be uploaded to our alumni YouTube channel for rewatching and sharing, hint, hint, hint. So now I'd like to close us out of our time together this evening with some words of benediction from Paul's second letter to the Thessalonians, taken from chapter 3, verse 16. Now may the Lord of peace himself give you peace at all times and in every way. The Lord be with all of you. Thank you, everybody. Good night.